opportunity. Please have patience. Please have patience.
जी, I am Raja Yadav. जब
Please
आज
have
हमारा
patience, Raja, please have patience. Our guest of honor has arrived, and in the next stage of the program, you would be given opportunity, Raja. Don't worry. So in the next stage of our program, KYLC2, Kalam Youth Leadership Conference 2.0, I heartily welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Rinchen Chophel. Dr. Rinchen Chophel, I would like to introduce him with some words, and I would like to say about Dr. Rinchen Chophel something. Dr. Rinchen is well known in the region and enjoys high regards as an expert on gender, human rights, and in particular as a key champion of ending violence amongst children, nationally, regionally, and globally. He continues to support multitude of agencies, including the SAR Secretariat, in many key regional projects and initiatives. He has extensive experience in working with the government of South Asia as well as with the UN, NGO, and research organization in the SARC region. He is founding member of SAF, now it's SIVAC, which is the only SARC apex body for children. Also a key architect and advocate of SIVAC in the last 6 years. He is also the chief architect and convener of the NACGS, which is the SIVAC CSO platform for driving the VAC agenda forward, operating in all 8 countries. So I would like to invite him on the dais on the behalf of whole KYLC team. I heartily welcome again and inviting Mr. Dr. Rinchen Chophel on the dais. Sir, please, sir. Dr. Rinchen Chophel.
Thank you, and my good wishes to all the dignitaries. I'm especially privileged to be sharing this digital platform with the Honorable Chief Guest, the Managing Trustee of the Abdul Kalam Project Foundation. And I am also so happy to be able to share this platform with Dr. Archana, who, you can say I'm a great fan of Dr. Archana. And of course, my very good friend, Mr. Munna Bhai, the founding chairperson of KHWAB Foundation. And I also want to extend my greetings to Inteja. And to all the young delegates from India and abroad. So where do I start? Thank you for the introduction though, and it's not as romantic and exotic as it was made out to be in my bio. I'm just a simple South Asian trying to do my small bit in creating a better South Asia for our children and our future generation. As we all know, every leader worth his or her salt in any important or not so important events will say, when it comes to children and young people, that you are the leaders of tomorrow. Some forget that the leaders of tomorrow need investments to strengthen their leadership capacity now, because they are also citizens of today and are also very much part of our day-to-day lives. And one of the reasons why I find initiatives like this conference so exciting is that we are trying to take the bull. But, ask Dr. Archana and she will say, act locally. And on the other side, KHWAB Foundation is taking it the other way. Think locally, act locally, and create change globally. And I think this is what we need if we are to create a better world for ourselves. Now, the theme of the conference, Youthism is where the story begins, is what really caught my imagination. And to me, I think this is what our whole mission should be. Because if we invest properly, and as my king, the king of Bhutan, says or has been saying or advocates to children and young people of Bhutan, investing in human resource and investing in young people and children is the most crucial and important investment one can make. And I think Youthism is not just a story where the story begins. It's the story itself. And creating that story and strengthening that story and making that story, catchy is what everyone's efforts should be. Because unless the story is structured properly, story is told properly, we are not to have an excitement, right? So for me, I think what KHWAB Foundation is doing, and like KHWAB Foundations, other grassroots, initiated organizations are doing, is exactly that, trying to make the story wonderful. And I extend my gratitude to KHWAB Foundation.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Now next,
Hello.
moving forward. Hello. Thank you, Rinchen sir. Now moving forward. Next towards our chief guest. Our chief guest has arrived, and our chief guest has arrived.
Sorry, I lost you for a while.
Okay.
Am I on still?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's the
sir.
monsoon and the weather playing tricks on me. But what I was saying was that I am so grateful to organizations like KHWAB Foundation for making that story so wonderful. Now, for me, I think it will be I'll miss the opportunity if I don't touch a little bit on what KYLC is. KYLC is the South Tibetan Single Children. And, work closely with the 8 countries of South Asia, and we showcase and drive the most common forms of violence against children and try and address it through
Yes, sir, Rahman. Very good. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Am I still on the air?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah,
I can hear you. Please
go ahead.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that KYLC deals with violence against children, and there are a number of areas that you all deal with on the ground, and I'm trying to deal with it at the regional and national level, and also advocating at the global level. For example, child marriage, child labor, sexual abuse, exploitation of children, trafficking, corporal punishment, issues of disability, and the critical role of keeping children involved or participating in their own lives. And the fundamental basis on which even agencies like you work on the ground, and when Munnabai actually elaborated the work of KHWAB Foundation, I realized that you are actually translating that action on the ground, that we are dealing with the whole issue of violence against children triggered by poverty and the child protection systems in place in many of our countries, and of course the lack or inability to monitor violence. Now, before the moderator tells me to shut up, I also want to touch on a little bit on the SDGs. You see, the SDGs, we have just 10 years left. And the SDGs, present a huge target. But I am a firm believer that if you have to achieve the SDGs, then you have to make sure that SDG 16.2, violence against children, is achieved. If you cannot achieve violence against children, then there is no scope or hope of achieving the SDGs. So that is another area, and therefore working with children and young people with SDGs as the driving platform is so crucial. Now I'm aware that we are battling with this huge horrific pandemic, and we are not just battling the virus, we have crisis within crisis, whether we are talking about children, violence against children, whether we are talking about loss of livelihoods, economic depression, the issues of migrant workers, people on the move, loss of jobs, whatever. And then we have, such natural disasters, not to mention some of the man-made disasters that distract from the mainstream news that our people are confronted with. Now, as we get into the whole response, and as COVID takes a very nasty and sinister look, my biggest worry as someone who tries to move forward violence against children agenda is that children actually will become now like commodities, economic commodities. And therefore, we have horrific stories of children in child labor, children being trafficked, children being sold. And I hope that this conference, as well as KYLC Foundation and all other agencies, will ensure that children do not be made responsible to shoulder the burden of economic turnover because of this COVID pandemic. So I want to conclude by saying that this conference is so wonderful. It brings to the fore the issues of youth and the challenges of youth and the potential opportunities youth can invest in human development and creating a better world for ourselves. And I'm so excited and grateful that I have been able to join this as a participant. And I want to, since this is being hosted in India, I want to end my saying with 2 lines in Hindi. Hopefully, wow. I will pronounce them correctly.
Oh, wow, great.
It goes like this. दोराने दो इन नन्हे कदमों को मैदानों में जनाब, वरना जिंदगी बहुत दोहरा दी है बचपन गुजर जाने के बाद.
Yeah.
So I believe you need to unleash the power and the potential of youth, children and youth, so that they actually are able to conquer the world and create a better world for themselves and for us. I thank all of you, and I wish you all a wonderful conference, and I will be checking in presentations and enjoying myself. Thank you, KYLC Foundation. Thank you, organizers of the conference, and I hope to keep in touch in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your warm words, blessings, and kind suggestions to us, KHWAB Foundation and for India. Your lines in Hindi was too good and really, really inspiring, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Rinchen Chophel, sir, for your warm blessings. Now,